Welcome to the Obesity Medicine Podcast with your host, Dr. Matea Rentia, board certified in internal medicine and obesity medicine. Here, we talk about a path to metabolic health, and we have real conversations about chronic weight management and living a full life. Just a reminder, I am a physician, but I'm not your physician. So everything that's on this podcast is for informational purposes, but please go talk to your doctor about what's right for you. There is no medical advice being given on this podcast. Welcome, friends, back to another Your Friday 5. Today, I thought it would be really fun to go over 3 foods that I'm obsessed with right now because I've just been, not only have I been loving these things, I'm going to go through why I love each, but they've been sticking around a pretty good amount of time, months now. So that's when I know that something has reached the elite roster when it doesn't go anywhere, right? All right, so there's going to be a variety. We're going to talk about a protein bar. We're going to talk about something called meal boosters. It's a savory protein powder that I use on things. And then I want to talk about Devotion Nutrition Crumble, this streusel topping that I've been using on everything. And it's just been phenomenal. Okay, so let's start out with number 1, a protein bar. So the Built Puff Bars, they are like a marshmallow consistency if you haven't tried it before. Now, I want to say a little disclaimer. I'm actually not a fan of all the Built flavors. Some of them taste super, I don't know, it's not only artificial, but sometimes they just don't hit right for me. But the strawberries and cream flavor and the brownie batter are just out of this world. And so the strawberries and cream, literally every time they have it, it sells out in like 2 seconds. I got so many boxes because they only have so many in each one. And I just know I like one of these per day. So just so you know, the Built Puff Bars actually have collagen protein powder in them. Okay. So just so you know where it's coming from. So it's 15 grams of protein, 140 calories, and they taste like divine little dessert. I will sometimes have that after dinner, or it's the perfect little snack. Let's say that I have a long work day and I'm eating dinner maybe an hour or 2 later than normal. I might have it at like 4 o'clock and then have dinner at 6 or 7 if it's a later day, which I try not to do because I eat dinner very early, but I have been loving that as a sweet treat. Okay, thing number 2, and these are in no particular order. So I got advertised this meal. The company is called Meal Boosters, and they're a savory protein powder. I got the white cheddar flavor. I'd been advertised forever. They've been hitting me with ads. And I want to say like 2 years in, I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. I got it. I am in love. So I'm just going to tell you about the white cheddar product. 2 scoops of it are 90 calories, 16 grams of protein, 2 grams of carbohydrate, 1 gram of total sugar. And what else is in here? 2 grams of fat. Okay, so if all of that matters to you, but it's a very quote unquote clean product. If that's something that some of you, you don't want anything that's not grass fed or, all the different things. Okay, it meets all that, but I just love that it has 16 grams of protein, 90 calories. Because remember, if you do that little trick where you add a 0 to the end of the grams of protein, that's 160 is a lot higher of a number compared to the calories of 90. So it's actually a good amount of protein. But let me tell you what I'm doing with this. This is really easy to put 2 scoops of this. You put it with cottage cheese. So I'll do, for example, for dinner, I'll do this meal booster white cheddar with cottage cheese. I just stir it up in a bowl. Okay. I'm not using a blender or anything. And then I will put that over. I will have roasted a bunch of veggies in the oven. And so I'll have a bowl of veggies. I'll throw this on top, stir it up. It turns very cheesy and liquidy. Like it just turns amazing. It's sort of like a mac and cheese meets a soup. I can't describe it. It's a really great consistency. So I've done it with all different kinds of veggies. I've done zucchini with green pepper and onion. I've done the bags where it's carrot, broccoli, cauliflower, everything, you name it. It works phenomenal. So I've gone through multiple bags now of the white cheddar, and now I'm ordering all the other flavors. So I will report back how that works out. But again, when I'm reading on the bottom here, it's grass-fed collagen, gluten-free, nut-free, no added sugar, paleo-friendly. They're saying it's the cleanest cheese product. I don't know what that means. Made in the US, dye-free. So it's literally all the things in the land. But all I care about is that I get more protein in me and it tastes amazing. And I don't want it to feel every time like I eat veggies like it's like this drudgery. With this, it has been such a game changer. And not only is it a game changer, but when my health also improves in a positive capacity, that's when I know it's really helping. Okay, the other thing that I cannot believe that I've been making devotion for so many years and have not made this yet, but I have their cookbook. So it's called Have Your Shake and Eat It Too. Again, all of these recipes are on their website, devotionnutrition.com, but I love that it's just one after the other. It's very simply written out. And I will write this in the show notes underneath. Remember, we don't, with these little Friday 5 episodes, we don't have show notes on the website because they're a little bit more informal, but I'll write this underneath so you can see it. But so this is a streusel topping. And again, maybe all of you are very familiar with this, but I'm not. I'm going to tell you how it's made in a second, but here's what I've been doing. I literally scramble up a bunch of egg white. Okay. So get however many grams of protein you want, 10 grams, 20 grams, whatever you want. And I do it with a little bit of vanilla extract, by the way, like 1 or 2 teaspoons. I stir that up. And I have egg whites in the bowl, and then I put a little bit of this topping on it. Now, I want to tell you, I made one serving, and I've been eating it for probably 2 going on 3 weeks. So you can use a small amount. So what's so nice about it is that it is such a flavor enhancer, but then you can get that extra protein. And again, it just increases anything. I've done it on scrambled egg whites with vanilla extract. And then I've also done it on, if you take an apple, literally cut it in half, get out the seeds in the middle, stick it in the oven, like 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. And the inside of the apple is almost going to be like an applesauce, right? It was not as good when I did sliced apples on a sheet. It's best with the half apple. And then I would put some of this on top. I was like, okay, and now we're not sacrificing to eat healthy. So here's the actual recipe if you want to try it. It's 2 tablespoons of coconut oil and then 1/3 of a cup of chopped almonds. I didn't have almonds, so I used chopped walnuts. It was divine. 1/3 of a cup of a brown sugar substitute. So for example, I used brown sugar swerve and it was so good. Then you can use 1 scoop of any of the Devotions flavors. Again, I think this is actually one that would lend well for any protein powder. A lot of the times they don't, because when you use the Devotion stuff, it'll be nice and fluffy and amazing because it's a whey and casein base. But I think you could use any protein powder that you have at home. But when I made it, I tried it with both Sinful Cinnamon, and then I've also tried it with Salted Caramel Cone. Everything phenomenal. So really any other flavors you can use. And then cinnamon if you want. So basically you do in the pan, you melt coconut oil. And again, it has to be medium heat, right? You don't want to burn it. You put the nuts in there, the brown sugar, you let it all caramelize up, and then you take it off the heat. And that's when you put in the scoop of protein powder. You mix it around until it's a crumbly consistency. And if it's too wet, you just add more protein powder. I ended up needing to add 2.5 scoops, which is 2.5 packets if you're using the single serve packets of Devotion. This has lasted weeks and weeks and weeks. I'm not even going to tell you the macro breakdown because you're going to be like, oh my gosh, that's a high amount of calories. Well, let me tell you, you can go ahead and judge. So what they just said here, the calories, 600 calories, 30 grams of protein, 15 grams of carb, fiber 8 grams, fat 51. Now, again, remember, you're going to potentially use this for weeks and weeks and weeks. And by the way, I love recipes like that where it's almost like, when you have a jam in the fridge, like I recently got a fig jam when it was my birthday. Oh, I've been loving that because it's like just a little bit of that. It's enhancing so many things. So this is so nice because you can use it for such a long amount of time. Anyway, I hope that you love these ideas. I'm always curious to hear yours as well. So make sure that you follow me on social everywhere, TikTok, Instagram, all of it. It's Matea Rentia MD, all one word, just like the latter half of this podcast. And tell me what you're loving because I like to try different recipes. I'm really all about making things that are along the health route, that are easy, that are simple, that don't require 100 ingredients. And so all of these meals sort of fit in that category. Okay, I hope you have an amazing weekend. Try a new recipe. See if you can try something that's out of your wheelhouse. Can you put a topping with something different underneath it? That's how we make this adventure of health not be super, super boring, but yet we still stay on our goals. All right, I hope you have an amazing weekend. That marks the end of today's episode. But if you're newer to the podcast, I want to tell you about something that we have, and it's a free podcast roadmap. So this is perfect for any of you that are listening where you want to be directed to very specific episodes. So let's say that you are just starting out and you want to know, what should I do right when I start on the medications? Or you're experiencing certain side effects on the GLP-1s, or you want to know what to do if you're in a plateau, or if emotional eating is taking over, or if hunger levels are high. So we have many different categories of episodes that we've talked about because there's a lot at this point. So if you want to be able to navigate that very easily, we have it broken down by category and also the episodes that are there, and we hyperlink to everything. So you can just click on it and find the episode, easy peasy. If you want that, you can go to rentiaclinic.com/podcast roadmap. We'll have it linked right here underneath the show notes where you're listening. And you can go ahead and get that free resource so that it makes it easy for you to navigate, because I know that it's really hard when someone has an established podcast. I am such a podcast fiend. I'm listening to podcasts all day long. And when I find one that I love, but there's a lot that are out there, I am so lost. So I hope that you enjoy this free podcast roadmap. Again, the link to get to that is going to be rentiaclinic.com/podcast roadmap. I hope this is helpful, and let me know if you have any questions.